Ooh. Hello. Is it too like in your face? Am I like peaking the mic audio too bad? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Today I have a very special idea, and that idea, you know the rule where I'm not allowed to eat uncooked food. I don't have any sort of cooking device in order to cook, which means that I'm going to die, and it's not going to be happy, and it's not going to be fun because dying normally isn't any of those things actually. So I sat down and I had a plan, and that plan was to go out into the wilderness abode, take my little tools, chop down some trees, of which I hate, and mine up some cobblestone. And after I have achieved that, then we will have food to eat, or I will have food to eat. You don't actually exist. You're not real people. Nobody who watches this is a real person. You all just exist. You're all just figments. You're a fictitious. You're not real is the point. You don't exist. If I don't see you, if I don't physically see you in front of me, you're not real. And even then, it's a question. So I don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no idea. I was super apathetic, and if you don't know what that word means, go look it up. I'm not gonna tell you. I might put it in. I don't know. But I was feeling super apathetic towards the first episode I recorded roughly 2 nights ago, and I hate it. And I think it's really bad because I was extremely tired. But I thought, you know what? You know what takes no energy at all? Playing Minecraft. And I was wrong, actually. Playing Minecraft takes a lot of energy. Because, as I said before, but I don't know if it's coming out, I don't like this game. I think it's boring. I don't think the game itself is a boring game. I think you can have a ton of fun with it. Just me personally, this game is super boring because it's such an empty game. But going on with the fact that I think it is boring, mining trees sucks. And I know, and you're probably thinking, well, you're using a wooden axe. Of course it sucks. And to that I say, you know what? You suck. That's a bit harsh, but I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was probably something along the lines of, it never gets faster to chop down a tree, even though I can get a stone tool, and even though I can do that. It's always the same action of chopping down the tree, which I think I talked about, but again, don't know if it's coming out. It probably isn't, because again, very apathetic towards it. Alright, I have a choice. I can just leave this tree like this, or I can mine it down. But I'm not going to show you which option I chose, so you're just going to have to decide for yourself until this tree does or does not appear somewhere in the future. But since our axe is broken, we are going to use our pickaxe and we are going to go mining. But after our long, arduous quest of looking for some stone has come to an end, we will mine out the bottom of this mountain. And I have just remembered the rule that I made, stating I cannot go back to my base unless I die, which, thinking about it now, that might only apply to caving, which would be a little cheap of me to retroactively change the rules. However, I don't care. Again, you're not real, you don't exist, you can't tell me what to do, which might make me come off, now that I'm thinking about it, saying that might make me come off very egotistical and rude, which I'm not intending. The only thing I'm saying is that I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am. I could be a sham. You don't know. Not. I'm real. Which is probably what you're saying to yourself every time I insinuate that you're fake. Alright, we have run out of both of our tools, and we are out in the wilderness alone, with no food, and no tools, and no shelter. This is going to be rough. We might die, and we might get killed. However, I will prevail. I will not let these harsh conditions and this winter escapade tie me down. We have found some coal, which some people call food of the stone. Why they call it that? I can only assume it is because coal burns. And as we have no tool to mine this crafting table, I shall leave it right here for future use. Now, despite the fact that coal is called food of the stone, we cannot actually eat it, which is going to pose a problem as we are almost out of hunger and we have no food. So try as I might, I do not think I will be able to eat these 11 pieces of coal. And as I look into the sky, I see the sun setting, which implies that night is quickly approaching. These conditions are not good for our survival. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive. Oh, there it is. I did see sugarcane. I was right. It's just that it spawned next to ice, which means that it breaks as soon as I like load it in or get close to it, which is really weird that the game does that. Anyway, sugarcane. Some people call it the food of the land, which is again weird. because you cannot eat it. So I don't know who calls it that, and I don't know how it gained that name. But as I look into the sky, I can see the stars and the moon filling the sky, and the sun is dead. Now, an inexperienced man, not such as myself, might be scared. They might quake in their boots a little bit. They might be shaken. I am not shook. As we can see, this green man over here and his friend, they really want to talk to me. They really want to sell me their pamphlet. However, I am not in the mood for any Girl Scout cookies or pamphlets of the such. So we will continue our quest looking for food of the land, also known as sugarcane, which I will not be referring to it ever again as that. And in the vicinity, in the future, we're looking into the future. We can see the orange thing known as orange block. I will gather the orange block, despite the fact that I can once again not eat it. And we will live off the land for now until we can return home to our quaint, quiet little base. Now, a little known wild fun fact for you. These orange blocks actually contain seeds in order to germinate and make more of the orange blocks. They are known as a vegetable. And over there, I do spy a ship. How the ship has sailed into these treacherous waters is unknown, because the waters are frozen. But we will not let this shipwreck go in vain. I will loot the entire thing and take these people's final things of survival, as I am clearly in more need of them, and they don't care very much about it because they have all died and they crashed their ship on land. Okay, I have some bad news. It would appear that I've actually already looted this ship. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't know where we are. I might have accidentally wandered back to the base. That would be really funny, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to survive off the land. We're here to cultivate it and make it our own. We are going to become the king of agriculture, where one man sees trash, another man sees treasure, and my treasure is adventure. So I will go around, I will collect the fruits of my labor, and when I die, I will be reincarnated as myself again, which I don't think is how reincarnation works. But I will go back, nonetheless, with the fruits of my labor, the fruits of my adventure, my trash. And I will plant them down, and I will cultivate them anew. The winter season is hard out here. It's very cold, and everything is dying all over the ground. I find the sugar cane, known as the fruit of the land, and I pick it up, and I take it with me, because if it should die, then I should die. And if I die, then the world should end. See, I am not built like the little squidonculus here. Why am I doing this? This is dumb. It's a squid. Why am I giving everything a funny name? It's a squid. I'm not built like the squid. I cannot survive in the cold waters. Nor am I built like the polar bear. Or apparently the skeleton. I don't know why he can survive here, but I guess it's because he's already dead. I am not built like you, friend. Alright, we've made it back home after our long, treacherous journey. Don't ask how. We will return with the fruits of our labor. And we have one singular stone pickaxe. However, we have the fruit of the stone, coal. We can make a furnace. And then we can take our logs. We can take a lot of logs, actually. We can take 4. We can put them in a cross pattern, just like this, indicating that the smoker is our Lord and Savior. We can cook our food so that we may... Ooh, I don't want to go out there. So that we may eat it in the future. Now we have cooked food, which is not only not breaking rule number 1, but it allows us to not eat the dirty spud that we till out from the soil. However, the dirty spud is in fact a renewable resource, and mutton is not. I mean, it is technically. I could go around and breed sheep, but I don't want to do that because that requires me to make wheat. And at that point, why wouldn't I just make bread? So I will probably continue to eat the dirty spud. Actually, you know, I just realized, breaking the bit for a second, I just realized that potatoes can turn into cooked potatoes, which means that I can't even eat raw potatoes. That's unfortunate. I mean, not that I was going to eat raw potatoes anyway, but if I wanted to, I can't. And I just realized that. That wasn't planned. Cooked carrots, on the other hand, those aren't in the game, so I can't eat raw carrots, but they can also be upgraded into golden carrots. It's not cooking them, but I just thought it's worth mentioning. We have a protection 4 helmet. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. We also have cooked cod. We didn't even have to do any of that. I didn't know that. Whoopsie. We'll go out with our golden axe and our stone tool. For we are not rich, but we are humble. We are a man of the land. We forged this golden axe ourselves by opening a chest and looting it from a bunch of dead pirates. And I will take this golden axe and I will go get the sugar from the land, and I will go mine trees. It will not be in vain, this axe. We will use it to the fullest extent of our power. Our axe has provided us with quite the bountiful harvest of wood. As you can see here, we have just over a stack and a half, an arbitrary amount, and then half of that arbitrary amount that the game has provided us as a cap to our collection. I am so powerful that they had to preemptively nerf my ability to collect all of the things in the world. Alright, now that we have returned home, and yes, before you're asking, I did die to a skeleton, actually, and you may be thinking, wait a minute, didn't you die to that skeleton the last time you died? Not currently. And you wouldn't exactly be wrong about that. I may just be using that death as an excuse to walk back home. However, I think it is entirely justified because I don't actually have that much stuff yet. The rule, it's sort of a caving rule only, really, the whole dying going back to base thing. You know, it's not necessarily a land adventuring rule. But either way, I believe it is time to use our wood that we gathered on our adventure. I don't know why I spoke like a robot there. Time to use our wood that we gathered on our adventure to spruce up our house, make it a little bit more homely. And we will take our crafting table. I don't need to narrate everything. The crafting table came from inside. There, you got it? Good job. See, this is why I don't like playing Minecraft. It's boring. Like, there's nothing. What am I to do? How do I make this interesting? I did a whole bit where I pretended that I was like a woodsman, and like that's the most interesting thing I've done. Like, how am I supposed to make this stuff interesting? Like, maybe it's just a problem with me. Maybe I'm the uninteresting one. You know, never really considered that before. That's entirely possible. I'd like to think that's not the case, but it totally could be. I could just be super uninteresting and very boring. But I don't know. That's why I don't like. I mean, you know, I talked about this already, but that's why I don't like doing Minecraft. It's because the game is boring. And if the game is boring, I have to be interesting, and I just don't know if I have I don't know if I have the capacity to do that. You know, that's hard. Like, I mean, you know, it's the same thing. It's like why I feel apathetic towards the Black Mesa. Like, you know, it's boring. It's boring. And like, also, hold on the Black Mesa stuff. Right, let me just talk about this. There's still like 3 hours left in that game. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, it's so boring. The whole thing, you know, and maybe I'm using that as like a crutch. Maybe I'm using it as a crutch to not do the work that I want to do. But genuinely, like, I've already spent 2 hours on Zen. 2 straight hours. Like, that's so dumb. And there's still 3 more hours left. I don't even know what to do. It's just kind of obnoxious. Like, I don't even know. Just like cutting out a lot of it and just only keeping like the interesting parts. But I don't think anybody really cares, if I'm being totally honest. Like, that's enough about complaining. Back to being a wild woodsman, living on my own, braving the land. Alright, I think that looks good. I think that's a nice entrance. Maybe we'll just put a couple more blocks up here. Oops. Maybe we'll just put a couple more blocks up here. Oops. Maybe we'll just put a couple more blocks up here. Alright. It'll be uneven. That's fine. It'll stay like that. That's cool. Now, what have we really achieved in this episode, right? Let's do an episode recap, because I'm done. It's been a half an hour. I'm through with this. This is boring. Again, I don't like... I think Minecraft is boring, but I digress. Let's do an episode recap. We went out. We braved the wilderness. Oops. We went out. We braved the wilderness. We came back home. We died once, evidently. We went out again. We died once again. And we came back. We did this is dumb. I don't like this. Episode over. Goodbye.